There's HaShulchan Yardea, Siman Chav Dalid, Sif Yotesta Chav Gimel. This is day 120 of the Supplemental HaShulchan Yomi series. Good test. Because the Rabbi says, if you inserted the knife underneath the first minority of the siman shachta from below to above, from the inside neck outwards, finish the normal way from the outside to the inwards. So the majority of one siman in an animal. And then you insert the knife tachas the miyut and nishar underneath the remaining minority, and then shal the sim sheni, and then you shech the second sim properly. So to be shechted the first minority by insertion, and then you go with the shida without insertion and raise a psula. All these are pasuk on the show. The difference between the first category and the third category, the same and meal common, both in the first minority, the insertion. In the first category, you shechted the minority from below to above, not the normal fashion. In the third category, there's more of a chiddush. You also shechted it. I'm not sure it translates properly before, but now we'll get it right. You shechted also the first minority properly. The insertion was that you insert a knife under the skin. Okay, so it was not from the bottom up, but it was under the skin. In the middle category that he mentioned, we're talking about an animal. He's going to his opinion that in the last minority it doesn't passel mikradin, like the Rambam. Therefore, by bird, with it's kosher as one siman, came shal roba siman, one shal the majority of the siman. The shechita is complete. Shlo passel chalada, and chalada will no longer rendered invalid. Avidan became a Rashi, but according to us, we don't like Rashi. That's miyut pastor is also a problem. Also by a bird, it's going to be a problem no matter what. Yesh Bishom those say the Gamdi done that even Koitas any miyut to Bishon Otzer Akubeshet Lobakona. The first minority is only a problem by the Veshet, where the Kubas Beshet is Bamashu, not by Kona, where immediately the Avel Chatzi Pukana Pogum, no worse than half the Kona being damaged. That's a Shach. We said that that's not the case in terms of applying pressure. They said in that respect, it's like delay in the miobasra where we're machmir. And that's true also by the insertion. This is the primary law. We say chalada is treif no matter what. Whether it's in the trachea or the esophagus. Afghan Bashir Kasab Nukem Basim Nachav Gimel, you see if you ches, Ayin Shami also wrote the same thing by Shihia by a delay as well. Chaf, Vizesh Kasaram, that's what the Ram says, the Poras Matlis. Saying if you spread a rag on the knife, Vahatzabar and the neck, Vishachan, and you shech the raise, have a suffix the Bela. It's a question with the Bela. Arbein Pasuk Hokim is there. May place argue. Kamash Kosev Torah two writes that Dafka Shamali is kosher above its sabar. Simply the rag is tied onto the neck, or shows some medubak, or is glued on b'shava v'tzavar with wax in the neck. Shows like there, and it shows that needed to have a suffix. Never, it's a doubt. Shows absolutely we have to pass on shkita. Avok Shem at least rock porus tzavar, but if the rag is only spread on the neck, or korach, or it's wrapped around below kshir without being tied, ain't a puzzle. That's not unbound. But Shchita Kshera. Shchita's valid. Shulchan Sif Ches. So we're going to pass this way. As you come to Chatchila, Yesh Lachush Div Rambam. It's preferable to be concerned with the Rambam's opinion. Ayin Sham. The bracket says, Gam Baruch Erech Goram. Kasur Katur, the Dafka Shemal Lis Medubak Wishava Shar Dover Ayin Sham. The Arukh also says it has specifically when it is actually glued onto the neck. Otherwise, it's not an issue. With wax or something else. Afghan Kshira law is here. Ayin Shom didn't even write that time, but it's tied is problem, like we just said. Chavav, many times in this account, the issue is mobik vosim. You should be very careful by sheep. Sheeshem tzavam tzavam swell to them and their necks matted wool. Harbei, a lot of it. You have to pluck off the wool. Kadesh lo yitmon hasakinas atzmo, since the knife should not hide itself tachas hatzemer, underneath the wool, v'avoid dechalod, and that will be insertion. Chen yushin yom yesh limot, and notice me often, so too you should pluck the feathers from the birds. Mokum shchita, places shechting tam zeh. V'yontav shiv shalim rot, and yontav you can now have to pluck. Yizar shechem ma'oid, the show should be very careful. Achlika nilsas kan to smooth down the feathers to here and to there. So the knife will remain completely revealed. Base. Person has to be careful when he is shechting and he wants to leave the hide intact. Doesn't want to make a large rip in the hide. It might come to shech with the tip of the knife, it could be covered with the hide. Even if just a little bit of the place of the shechita is covered, place of the shechita, the knife is covered a little bit in the place of shechita, I feel the apostle is supposed to even the evidence. And then that's if you shech to the tip of the knife. But shech in the middle of the knife, or not concerned if the tip is covered with hide. Since the point of contact of the blade with the neck, where you're shechting, opposite the it's not covered. Even though the tip of the knife is covered, which is covered, is not part of the Ma'aser Shechita. That is the two name of Rabbi Eliezer Metz. It's preferable to be concerned with what he says, at least ab initio. If you can. Yes, you show us the gam the those are some the evidence. The Bach V'loni Arkain, they disagree with or HaShulchan disagrees based on the Shach. Chen yesh is also be careful when there's a rope wrapped on the neck of the animal. I don't know why you would leave it there. Let's say it's right, you should leave it from there. Move it from the neck. If you wrap a rag on the knife, you should not be thicker on the thicker part of the knife, the outer part of the knife, more than that, so extends beyond the. I'm not sure exactly what he means by it's out of from the side, from the narrow side, in which you shecht. I'm not sure getting what the issue is. Some or another, I guess someone covers the blade that way. I don't know exactly. Anyway, it should be that's from Tvua Shore. Okay, now we go on to the next part of the issue, Hagrama case side. So Hagrama, how does that work? Well, you shecht it out of the place shechita, out of the zone. We spoke as previously. Shana grama, the language of grama, shemachriya yado, you incline your hand. Let's say schutz mokam hechsha shchita to go outside of the place of discussion. Such a parallel usage in Babasa that peches and Khurashi Khun Daftes. So when you measuring something precisely, you have to give an additional amount above and beyond, take up for inaccuracies. The gram shiva amida. The gram is like I guess it's like the word we're using gram, but it means that although I don't know if it's related, but it could be. Shar amida shlo yosif lo yigra. The shiva amida. Sorry, it's the balance of the mida. They shouldn't add and shouldn't detract. But sometimes you have to overcompensate. I don't remember what the case Babas was talking about, but in any event, gram is when it's precise. Okay, so much to be seen like that, you should not go beyond that precise zone. Something along those lines. There's a solution is supposed the shame shchita hakasu batera bekachim. The name shchita, which is the pasuk uses by kachi shachat, is ben bakar. Says shech the calf. Moira the makam shchita minat savar v'lo makam acher. Indicates that the shchita is from the neck and so, not elsewhere. How so? So we expound. Minay shchita minasor. I know shechting is from the neck. Shem shachat. Becomes sach, or Makom Shach Chateu, place where it talks, cut it or purify it. Makom Shamim Kofei Misham Hechsher. No, sorry. Here it's going with the lesson of Shach Shin Ches, not Sin Ches. Makom Shach Chateu, place where it bends. Purified. Makom Shefamim Kofei, the place where occasionally it bends. Misham Asher, that's where you make a kosher. V'shach l'shon kvifa. Shach is language of bending. Moki shach l'rafam of sheno, like our soul bent down to the dirt. V'chatei l'shon hechsher. Chatei is language of making something kosher. V'chitei sabayis, when you cleanse the house by tzaras abatim. V'tachtei beizov, you cleanse me with the hyssop. It's with procedure, paraduma, tzaras. Melech shesher shlo makon tzavar. So if you shech not by the neck, such as by the epiglottis and above, v'chein lamata swan is so too far down simonim, bekara barosh karavuna, in the trachea, at the beginning, from the beginning of the lobe of the one of those. From the expansion of the lobe of the lung, veshet, and in the esophagus, makom shasir, from the place it starts being like hairy. Ain't a savar makom sheshach, it's down the neck, in the place where it bends. But it's just the same like cutting the hand or the leg, which of course would be puzzle. And that's it for today.